I'm 22 years old. I'm living in million-dollar villas all over the world. I have an amazing group of friends. I have an amazing family. I have everything I've ever wanted and more. But a part of me still feels incomplete and empty. And I don't know, maybe it's time to move on to something new or take on a completely new challenge or take my life in a whole other direction. But I wanted to make this video like super raw and authentic to kind of give you guys an inside look on what it's like when you make it. And by no means have I made it, because I'm still nowhere near the person that I want to be, still nowhere near the financial levels of success that I want to be at and everything in life. But looking back on it from, my 18-year-old self in my dorm room in college, I really have made it. And, to me, that's millions of dollars, traveling the world, like I said, living in some of the most amazing places, literally being able to hop on any plane, business or first class tomorrow, go anywhere. And I'm saying all this not to brag, but to give you guys a perspective of what my life is genuinely like now. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not happy and this life hasn't gotten better and hasn't given me everything that I've ever wanted. And I'm extremely grateful to be in the position that I'm in now. But I do want to make all of you guys aware of what it takes and what it took to get to this point, and ultimately how you are going to feel when you do reach this point. And so I rushed to success, right? From the age of 18, every single day, all I could think about was money, getting a nice car, starting a business, being able to treat my family, being able to do all these things that I have done now and will continue to do. But I rushed it. I rushed it really hard. I manifested it so hard. I knew it was going to happen. I did everything right. I made all the right connections. I put myself in all the right places. And ultimately, I had such an accelerated path to getting to where I am today in terms of financial success. I mean, it's not every day that you hear of somebody who in literally 1 year makes their first $100,000, the next year makes their first $1 million, the next year becomes an after-tax millionaire on paper, and the next year is a multi-millionaire traveling around the world with an amazing group of friends, an amazing team. The amount of progress I've made in the last 3-4 years has been absolutely wild, and I recognize that. Like, look, I rushed into that. I did everything right. I recognize, I got lucky partially with market timing, things that I jumped into. I recognize I am also naturally smart and gifted in certain areas that allowed me to propel or accelerate faster than maybe most people would have. But maybe looking back on things over the past few years, that was precisely the problem. The problem was that I did everything right and didn't leave enough room for failure, didn't leave enough room for error, and just going on that, hero's arc in general, I kind of just straight moonshot it up to where I am now, and I feel like I have the exact blueprint in front of me in terms of how to achieve everything I want and how to get everything I want out of life. And I know this sounds unrelatable, but it's going to get more relatable as I talk more into it. And so I missed out on experiences. I dropped out of university even though I was having an amazing time. I left behind my hometown with my family and friends. I moved to Dubai. I'm not around the closest people in my life anymore. I lost a relationship that I had for multiple years. And it was only until the last few months that I really eased my foot off the pedal a little bit and kind of, allowed myself to sit on the top of this mountain that I had climbed and take a look back down and see what I had left behind. And one thing that I quickly realized is that although I've got everything I wanted, I'm still the same person. And nothing has really changed besides the fact that I've missed out on a lot of things and I've missed a lot of experiences. But on the flip side, I'm extremely grateful because I've gained a lot of amazing experiences. I'm sitting in a villa right here with some awesome team members that I met online who became some of my best friends that are working with me, and we're building to reach new levels. I've impacted literally millions of people with some of the biggest e-commerce videos on my channel, hitting 1 million, 2 million views and so on. My YouTube channel is at over 200,000 subscribers. I've helped hundreds of clients start a business. I get people coming up to me randomly, like in a club, telling me that my videos have changed their life and put them on a path of financial freedom and whatever it is. The reason why I make this video is to tell you guys that it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And through this journey that I've had, there's been a lot of instances where I have just kind of flicked off my own feelings and my own emotions and, my own worries, my own doubt, because I've just manifested, I've just pushed myself into this version of a human so hard that does not fail, that does not back down, that will keep going, that will make $1 million in 3 months, that will, make a YouTube video that goes viral, that will do this, that will do that. And I've just left no other room for any other alternate reality in my head. And well, although all this stuff sounds very good, and it is very good because it's pushed me to where I am, I just want to make you aware of what the darker side of it is and what's happened to me now that I've looked at the top of the mountain and I've kind of looked down and seen my path over the last couple of years, and I'm also seeing the next mountain that I have to climb. And I want to make you guys aware of a few things. And if you have the right mindset, if you've watched all my content, if you've watched other people's content in the space, you've learned as much as you possibly could, maybe you've read tons of books. I mean, I read 60 books in my first year of starting entrepreneurship, then I'm telling you, you're going to make it. You're going to be successful, because the only difference between somebody who is successful in terms of finance, in terms of business or whatever, and someone who isn't is a knowledge gap. And chances are, if you're consuming content like this, if you're watching everyone's content in the space, if you're reading books, et cetera, you are going to become that person, because you're going to have the knowledge that's going to allow you to take those steps. It's going to allow you to build that mindset to do everything, right? Everything is knowledge. And so I could lose everything today, could lose all my money, everything, and I'd still be so confident that like, I'm going to make money, I'm going to be rich, I'm going to be well off, I'm going to yada, 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 because it's all knowledge. It's all up here. But I think something that nobody really talks about is that knowledge, is that mindset, is getting to where you want to go, where you want to be, really going to change everything, really going to make you happy, really going to improve your life. And looking back on it, I don't know, right? I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to everything. I'm still trying to figure out stuff myself. What I can tell you is I'm really grateful. I'm really happy that I've been able to do the things that I've done, that I'm in the position that I'm in, that I've been able to help out my family, friends, cultivate some amazing relationships, have amazing experiences, travel the world. Like, these are all very positive things, okay? But looking back on it, if I could do it again, I think that I would maybe do it at a slightly slower pace. So my advice would be to enjoy yourself, to go slow, to fall in love with the process and every single present moment of you building and becoming the version that you see yourself. Don't rush there, because when you do get to that version of you that you want to be, which is kind of where I'm coming now, as in my 18-year-old self. Obviously, I have new versions of myself and new places that I want to see myself in the years to come, but I'm kind of at that vision that I once saw for myself. And I'm telling you that my favorite part and my happiest moments, my best moments, was those scenes in the middle of the movie where the hero is struggling and he's been beat up, he's been knocked down, he's had to get up again, he's had to face his fears, he's had to be pinned against the wall with what seemed like no way out, and he had to strategize the most devious plan that's going to allow him to unlock the next secret and get to the next spot, right? And so when people always say, like, it's not the destination, it's the journey, that is 1000% true. And like I said, by no means am I at the destination. I'm just at the top of this first mountain that I was once trying to climb. And I'm definitely looking back on it now, and I'm like, okay, I've got financial freedom, I've got location freedom, I've got time freedom, but what's missing? And what's the next mountain that I have to climb to? And what did I do wrong in climbing this first mountain? That's kind of what I'm really digging into with this video. And so I think a lot of people, myself included, who go on this entrepreneurial path of attaining ultimate freedom in their life, especially when it comes to financial freedom, they like to shit on the people who work the 9 to 5. They climb the corporate ladder, they go the traditional route. Maybe they're in school, they're in university. And I've never talked bad about these people. I've never talked bad about people in college. I've never talked bad about people working in a corporate landscape. And the reason for that is because these people are sometimes often the most happy people. Like, I've met a lot of entrepreneurs, I've met a lot of millionaires, young millionaires, old millionaires, and I've also interacted with a lot of people in college, because I went to college for 3 years while I was building my businesses. I went to, work part-time jobs. And what I noticed, and what was absolutely shocking to me, especially looking back on it now, is that some of the happiest people that I've met, and people who are just so present and so alive and so lit up by life, are the people with less amounts of money and relatively mundane lives, and people who maybe don't have all these experiences and all this money and all this stuff, but they're just so happy with where they are and their routine and their comfort. And what's funny is there's actually some studies that actually kind of correlate to all this stuff, and one of them being that people report their saddest time of the week to be between the hours of 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. on a Sunday. And so why is that, right? So on a Sunday, typically people aren't working, and maybe Saturday or Friday night they went out, they had fun, they went out to links, or they had a barbecue or whatever it was, they spent family time. But a Sunday is that reset day, right? And so for a lot of people who know exactly what they're doing in their week, they have a simple job, they have a straightforward life, they're in college, and I felt this too, that Sunday morning period, that Sunday morning, midday, afternoon, you really don't know what to do with yourself. Like, yes, later on in the Sunday, you usually get kind of this boost of energy. Like, I got to prepare for the week. I got to do my laundry. I got to, cook. I got to pack. I got to clean. I got to do all this stuff. But that first part of the Sunday is typically when people report feeling the most sad. And when I really thought about that, I was like, why is that? It's because they're bored, right? They have nothing to do. And I think as an entrepreneur, somebody who creates your own path in this world, like, you're not, showing up and working for somebody for X amount of time or a part of this routine, every day kind of feels like that Sunday, because you have to figure out what you're going to do. And that Sunday morning is when everyone figures out what they're going to do, how they're going to prepare for their week, and they're the most sad in that time period. But for people who are maybe in school or working in a job, they never have to go through that, or they do from time to time, obviously in different experiences and different aspects of their life. But for the most part, they know exactly how their week's going to look. They know exactly how their month's going to look. They have a clear 5-year plan, 10-year plan, whatever it is, and so they don't have to face these internal battles that thus makes them more sad. Now, is it a good thing to face these battles? Is it a good thing? That, again, yet I still don't really know, because I've seen people who are extremely happy on both ends, people who do nothing all day and who are happy, and people who do everything all day and who are happy, and people who work a conventional job, and people who go the non-traditional paths. So I really don't know, but basically what I'm saying is, if you kind of reach the top of the mountain, or maybe that first mountain you want to climb of financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom, like I did, and you don't have a rigid plan or structure in place for when you get there, then you're going to be in a very weird position where every day is going to feel like a Sunday, and your happiness is going to start to decline, even though you have everything you ever want. It's the weirdest feeling ever, and I've talked to a few people about this, and I've conceptualized and I've put it in words in the way that I'm doing now, and these people all agree with me. People who are in my position, people who have made millions, people who have made multiple millions. Every time they reach the top of a new mountain, they have to quickly realign their goals, their passion, their purpose, their structure, make sure they know exactly, what their routine is like, what their next weeks and months are like, because if they don't, then they get this Sunday afternoon depression. And look, I'm not saying that I'm depressed at all, because I'm not. I'm just saying that there's these feelings that I've had when I've realized that I've kind of ascended the first peak of the mountain that I want to climb in life. And I've also had to restructure and reprioritize, and I do have a solid plan moving forward, and I do feel like I'm more structured. But even though I do have that in place, I still am in a position where a lot of my life is up to me, and that's overwhelming. Look, there's a lot of options in my head. I could be here tomorrow, I could be there tomorrow, starting this business tomorrow, working on that business tomorrow, connecting up with this person, going on a date with this girl, like whatever it is. There's so many options, and with all those options comes no clarity. And it's really hard to talk about this stuff too, because the thing is, most people can't relate to you. Even if people are starting to relate to the way that you're feeling, they're still going to be jealous or angry that you're even bringing this up, because the way that they see it is your problems are insignificant compared to their problems, because maybe their problems is they can't put food on their plate, and your problem is you're worried about whether to go on a yacht in this country and whether to do a safari in this country. And yes, of course, I totally agree. If you can't put food on your plate, or you can't sustain your kids' education or whatever it is, that's totally a different ballgame, and that's so much worse than having the problems that you do when you kind of climb that first mountain of freedom, so to speak, which is why I don't like talking about the dark side of it, or would ever want to preach or promote or talk about the dark side of it. But the reason why I decided to make this video is to make you guys aware of how you might feel, in fact, how you probably will feel when you do climb this first mountain in your life. And look, there's probably a good percentage or majority of you guys watching this video right now thinking, oh, this is a load of bullshit, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, he's probably never made any money, he's probably daddy's money, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Like, look, I get it all the time, and quite frankly, I don't really care if you believe me or not. I'm a self-made multi-millionaire by the age of 22. I grew up in a middle-class family. Like, I never really had tons of money. My parents were amazing in the fact that they gave me every opportunity to learn, grow, play sports, do whatever I wanted within reason, but I didn't have any extra money to do anything else, really. I couldn't go out to expensive dinners, I couldn't buy what I wanted, and I know it sounds boo-hoo, but I actually love the way that I was raised, because it taught me to work. It taught me to work for what I wanted, and that's why I was so driven. I mean, take a look at my track record. Like, I already broke down some of the things I achieved over the past couple of years, but bottom line, I've done multiple 7 figures in online sales. I've built, a platform on YouTube, over 200,000 subscribers. I have multiple hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok and Instagram and other social media platforms. So I know a few things about making money in the online world, building a presence in the online world. I've done well at what I've stepped into over the past couple of years. I think I've made money in multiple different business models, e-commerce, affiliate marketing. I did day trading, I did stocks, I did crypto. I tried so much, and I found success in a lot of different avenues. I have an amazing network. I know people worth 30, 40, $50 million that I could ring up today and have them wire me money if I need it. But look, this video isn't to brag about me or anything. It's just to make you guys aware of what you might feel when you get to this stage, which I know you will, because I was in the same position as you. I guess I want to leave it at, number one, I want to first make sure you know that I'm not sad, I'm not depressed, this is not a cry for help in any way. This is not me being sorry for myself for the situation that I'm in. That's not at all. I'm very happy with where I am. I have a clear vision for myself. I'm really making this video, yet again, I'll say it again, to make you guys aware of some things and maybe give you some advice from, the past couple of years of getting to this point as well. And I guess the best piece of advice I can give you would be, don't put people like myself on a pedestal, people you see online on a pedestal. Like, we are all just regular human beings. Yes, we decided to commit and grind on one thing for an extended period of time, and we had success, and maybe we had success very young, and that's fine. And learn from these people, network with them, connect with them. But don't put us on a pedestal because we just chose to do something different in life. My camera literally died here. But basically what I was saying is, I'll never put myself on a pedestal or put myself on my high horse and say like, my life is better than yours because you're flipping burgers and you're in college and whatever. I just want you to know that wherever you're at, you're totally okay. You're in a great position. As long as you're learning, you're taking steps every single day to improve your life. You have a vision for yourself. You're working towards it. I guarantee you'll find fulfillment. You'll have fun along the way. Don't rush it. Take those experiences. Enjoy every little aspect and every moment of your life, because you're only going to be this young once. You're the youngest you'll ever be right now. Have those experiences. Enjoy it. Don't fall into the comparison loop. I would compare myself to people and think, why am I so far behind? This guy's making way more money than me at my age. This guy's doing this. Look, everyone grows at different times. Everyone has experiences at different times. Maybe you've decided you don't care to make that much money. Maybe you decided you'd rather have an amazing family or prioritize something else right now, and that's totally fine. I just also wanted to get across that I don't want people to come on my content and think that I'm this perfectly polished person that knows exactly what he's doing in life and looks down upon others who aren't in the same shoes as him. And so, yeah, everyone's different. Everyone's got their own story. Be the hero in your own story. It's your journey. It's no one else's. Walk this path, or walk a similar path to me. Get help, get guidance along the way, whatever it may be. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys so much for all the support. Let me know if you guys do like little raw talk videos like this, because I'm happy to shoot these whenever. I just thought this was kind of an important, cool little update and something that maybe you guys can find some useful information or value in, and allow you to just stop, breathe, relax, enjoy the present moment. Know that you're everything you ever wanted to be, and you're on the right track, and you will be everything that you want to be in this moment. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you in a couple days. Appreciate all the support, and yeah, just can't say enough. I'm super grateful, super thankful to be in the position that I am, and I hope I'm using my platform to spread good, positive messages, and you guys are also finding my content interesting, informative, entertaining, and yeah, all the above. Cheers.